Good morning, everybody. It is March 25th, and I am here to talk to you about my stitching. Well, yesterday, for the 24th, my stitching, I was trying to catch up from a couple of days before, and this one was to stitch on an ornament for the 23rd, and so I pulled out my Rudolph's tree farm. And I started working on it, and I got a lot of work done on Rudolph's tree farm. I completed most of this door. I have one color left in the door. I actually put in the beginnings of the horse. There's a blanket across here, and then the beginning of the carriage that's right here. And then all I have really and truly is the snow down here below them, and then all the back stitching, and I'll be done. So I'm thinking one more time on this might complete it. But I'm going to stop now because I've got to catch up a couple more requirements. I've got to catch up for the 24th, which is to stitch on my bingo board, which is to stitch on a monthly requirement piece. And so that could be any number of things. It could be one of several, 4, I think, that I'm doing every month. But I think what I'm going to do is pull out my Alpine Hollow because, as you know, I like to double dip. And for my British Bakeoff championship game, I need to stitch 175 stitches in Alpine Hollow, and I need 100 for bingo. So that 175 would hit both, and that would actually... I'm thinking it would leave me only one piece left to finish my Great British Bake-Off game. And it would leave me only one more to finish my bingo for today, which is number 8 on my board, and that is Whip of Choice. So that's the good news. I can do my Hawk Run Hollow for my 175 stitches. And I can take 100 of that for my bingo board. And I can either stitch another 25 stitches and use that Hawk Run Hollow for number 8 as well and wrap that up, or I could pick something else that I want to stitch on to do for the last one. So my day is kind of open to whatever I want to do, which is great. My last one on my British Bake-Off is my banner year, and I need 175 stitches in that. So here's what I'm thinking. I'll probably do my Hawk Run Hollow for 175, and then I'll turn around, or 125, and then I'll do my banner year and finish up both Great British Bake-Off and my bingo board today, which will be fabulous. Our WhipGo numbers should come out today. They may already be out, and I just haven't looked yet. So I'll be able to see what I got to work on for that for April. And since I'm doing Springo in April, if I want to pull my WhipGo pieces out and get those done before April even starts, I might do that. It's my board, my rules. So if I want to do it early, I will. But I am fighting the urge to finish my Rudolph's tree farm, because it's to that point where I could probably finish it if I worked really hard on it all day long. But I have these other things I really want to get done. And then this Thursday, which is only 2 days from now, I will be at retreat. So sometime today, I have to get busy and pick out what I'm going to take with me. Get it prepped and ready to go, and I need to double check it because I don't need to get up there and have no patterns. That would not be good. Anyway, so I do have a funny story to share with you. My husband took Coco walking the other day, and I don't think I've told you this story yet. If I have, I apologize. But there was a neighbor up the road who is actually Loki's parents, and they also have a cat named Mr. Pickles. Mr. Pickles and Coco are arch enemies. They do not like each other. Don't know why. They just don't. They took an instant dislike to each other. And whenever Mr. Pickles is out in the yard, Coco stops and she gets her hackles up and she lunges at him, and Mr. Pickles hisses at her, and it is just hysterical. Well, the other day, my husband was walking Coco, and it was trash day. And apparently Mr. Pickles got a new cat tree, and the old cat tree was being discarded. And the cat tree was on the side of the road by the trash can. And Coco stopped dead still. She thought Mr. Pickles was in that cat tree because she could smell Mr. Pickles. She wouldn't get near that tree. She barked at it. She backed up. She tried to run from it. It was hysterical. And Tommy whipped out his camera on his phone and got me some footage of it. So I'll put it in at the end of the video for you. But it's Coco thinking that she's avoiding Mr. Pickles. He's nowhere around. But it is kind of funny. I took her walking later that same day before the trash had been picked up, because they put it out the night before, the day before. And I took her walking the next morning, and they hadn't picked it up yet. That's what it was. Anyway, it was still there. And it had fallen over a little bit more, and so the wind wasn't puffing the fabric out, making it move, which is one of the reasons she thought Mr. Pickles was in there. And she got a little closer with me. She kind of sniffed it and went up to it, but she gave it a wide berth anyway and didn't like it. And she was relieved when we came back that afternoon and it was gone. She went over and smelled the ground where it had been, and it was really funny. But I hope you enjoy the footage of Coco thinking that she smelled Mr. Pickles. I am going to get busy stitching. I have the wonderful opportunity today to have a Zoom call with two of my stitching friends, Mary and Joanne, and I need to get busy and get something going so that I have it ready when I'm stitching with them. And I would love to get through either Holic Run Hollow or a Banner Year and be on the other one by the time I talk with them. So I want to get busy doing that. And I hope to have more to show this afternoon, maybe. Come back and share it with you. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day of stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina, and today is the 25th of March. I was right. I had to check the calendar. Anyway, today was a big day. I have completed my bingo game, and I caught up in the last 2 days. So I did a blackout for my bingo board. I didn't win bingo. I didn't get there first, but I did get a blackout, which was good. And then I have also completed my British Bakeoff Championship stitching. So this is how I kept up with that. I had a spreadsheet I created that had all 12 of the bakers across, affiliated with my project underneath. And then each episode I wrote down who got what and how many stitches that was. And then as the bakers got eliminated, I put an X for the rest of their time. And I totaled up the number of stitches that I had been required to put in my projects. If I put more, I didn't put it on there. I just put the requirement. And I did that as the episodes went on and I had fewer stitches and I had to go to page 2. I just wrote down the people that were continuing in the game. And again, I put all of them at the bottom as well. So I thought it would be interesting for me to see how many stitches did I actually get to do just by stitching for the game. And it was a total of 5,325 stitches if I had just done what was called for. And in many cases, I did more. So that was a fun way to put in over 5,000 stitches on my projects that I was doing. So yay for that. But today was my final bingo call and my final Great British Baking stitching, because I said I wanted to finish it before April 1st, simply because I want to do the Springo and I want it to be what I'm working on in the month of April, not everything else. So I finished up my stitches that I needed for a Banner Year from episodes 9 and 10 today. And that was a total of 175 stitches. So I knew I needed to put 175 stitches in a banner year, which is a hands-on design. And I'm working on this one. I have done the first one and the last one, and I'm working on this one now. And so today I actually wound up putting in 304 stitches because I wanted to finish the skates, and I did. I started out with putting in this silver underneath the skates for the blades and just finished stitching. I've got back stitching to do with the laces, but I've stitched the ice skates now. And so the next thing that would be ready for me to work on is going to be the things below that are going down to that point. So 2 big snowflakes and a couple of little motifs along the way. So since my British baking game is over and I don't have any more acrostics to stitch for or anything like that this rest of this month, my thoughts are that I'm going to take this with me to retreat. And I'm going to see if I can't get a finish on this at retreat. So there you go. I'm going to put it away. I'm not going to stitch on it anymore. I'm not going to stitch on it tomorrow. I'm just going to take it with me Thursday. And it'll probably be either something I stitch on Thursday night, if we stitch when we get there, if we get there early enough, or it'll be the first thing I pull out Friday morning so that I can do that. I have been thinking about what to take with me, and I am excited to tell you I have 2 new starts I'm taking with me. I found my pattern that I misplaced when I went with my husband for his procedure yesterday. And so I am going to take my Anjou pear with me. I've got 2 of those pears left to stitch. I've only done 1. So I would like to at least start the second pear. Whether I finish it at the retreat or not, I don't know. But I would like to get it started, work on it a little bit. Then I have another new start I want to do. I showed you recently that I had purchased a Teresa Kogut pattern that was for charity, and it was delightful, except I felt like the border was too busy for me. And so I rearranged just a few motifs in it to make it a little bit less busy for me, just so I didn't have to stitch as many of the flowers. But I have it kitted up and ready to go. So I'm taking that with me as a potential new start at retreat, for a retreat start, which I think will be great. The Anjou pear is a start I wanted to do anyway, coming down the road, because I'm trying to finish the series that I've started. But my Teresa Kogut one is just a free start for retreat. It's just a retreat start for me. So I think that'll be fun. So I do want to put a couple of pictures in here for you and tell you what they're about. I went recently to Hobby Lobby. I took a couple of things to be framed. I took something for my sister to be framed for her birthday. And Mindy has assured me she'll have it ready in time for me to mail it to my sister. I'm so hoping that we get it. I get it next week. Because I need to put it in the mail to my sister. And I also took something for my husband that I had stitched a long time ago. And I'll share that with you when I pick it up. But while I was there, Mindy said, "Oh, I framed my piece you stitched for me. You want to see it? I've kept it here waiting on a time when I could see you." And I said, "Yes." So we just posed right there in the frame shop. One of her coworkers snapped the pictures, and we took a couple of pictures, which I think is awesome. And so I'll put those in here for you here. And so now I've seen the framed part, and I think Mindy loves it. She can't wait to put it in her kitchen. And so I'm very happy about that. So I just wanted to share that with you. Tomorrow is a very early morning. Coco's getting her teeth cleaned. First time ever. They're going to put her to sleep, clean her teeth. Fingers crossed everything goes okay. She's 5, so the doctor said he thought it was about time to clean her teeth, and okay. So we'll do it at 5, and then we'll wait another 5 years before we talk about it again. I don't know. We'll see. But I just wanted to tell you it'll be a very early morning for me. And then hopefully after breakfast with my hubby, I can get up here and maybe do a little bit of stitching before I go to lunch with my friends from church. I have a ladies' lunch tomorrow that I'm really looking forward to. So I will share what I decide to stitch on when I make that decision tomorrow, and I'll come back and share it with you. So in the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It is the 26th of March, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing today, what I've been stitching, what my plans are, because I may not be recording for the next little bit, maybe one more day. But I'm getting ready to go on retreat, and I don't usually record while I'm on retreat. I try to enjoy being there and that sort of thing. So today I made a list of things I needed to get done, and one of them was to finish editing a video and get that uploaded, which I did this morning. And then another one was to pack all my clothes, get my suitcase ready for tomorrow, which I did this morning after taking Coco in to the vet's office for her dental appointment. And then the next thing on my list was to stitch that bird on my chatelaine. I did not want to leave here feeling disappointed or overwhelmed or frustrated with this piece. I want this to be just as exciting for me as I thought it was going to be. And so I thought, well, I've got the day to stitch. I don't have anything for a prompt that I have to do. I can see how it goes. Let me just start on it. Fresh eyes, and see what I decide to do. So I am happy to report that I put my 202 stitches in this bird, back stitches and all, and it's now finished. Isn't that beautiful? It is 1/1. It is with silk, and it is wonderful. I am so pleased with it. I did discover there's one silk I don't have. I'm not going to order it. I'm just going to use the DMC that I had pulled originally for it. But you don't know which one it is, and I'm not going to say because I think it looks great. But that is lovely. It's, I think it's quite obvious it's an eagle, and it's just soaring around, and I think that's beautiful. So that is done. The next time I pick this up, I will actually be ready to do the pathway down here that looks like a trail or something that's going away from the house. And it's quite a big part, and it's 1/1 as well. But now I'm not worried about it because I successfully completed the 1/1 on the eagle. And yes, it took a little time. It took me all morning. But I was also helping my husband file taxes and helping him to get put some ladders away where he had installed a little tiny fan for us in the laundry room to help dry the clothes that we hang up to dry. I took him out to breakfast after we dropped Coco off at the vet's office. And so now I'm getting ready to go run to the store to get my groceries to take with me to retreat because my roommate and I are going to eat lunches or dinners in our room part of the time. And so we're gonna, have some sandwich stuff to do that with. And also I need to pick up a couple of things like travel hairspray and things like that. So I'm gonna get that done, get all my shopping done while I'm out having lunch with my friends so that I'm making one trip out and one trip home. And then once I do that, and I have everything all lined up for tomorrow, I've already got my stitching packed of what I'm going to take with me. I'm thinking I may pull out a piece I just want to put more stitches in and just have a leisurely afternoon of stitching. Probably stop stitching early this afternoon so I can spend the evening with my hubby since I'll be gone for a few days. And that's my plan, and that's what I'm hoping to do. So it's just slightly afternoon here. My lunch date is at 1:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and go and get my shopping done. And now I can tear up my enlarged pattern of the bird because I finished it. Isn't that exciting? Oh, and I didn't share with you this yet. WhipGo numbers were called, and I mentioned that they had been called, and I hadn't looked at them yet. So I did go and look at them last night. And the WhipGo numbers for April are numbers 4 and 10. And for me, number 4 is whip that is a gift. So I have 2 that I could pick right now from that, and that would be my December quilt or the one for my sister. And then the other, number 10 for me, is an autumn whip, whatever I want to stitch on for autumn. Now, I have Autumn in the Village, and I also have Shakespeare's Fairies, which is an autumn piece. It looks autumny. I'm not sure. Maybe it's summer. Maybe there's the midsummer fairies. I'm not sure. So I won't, let's not do that one since I don't really know. But I do have Autumn in the Village. And then I also have an autumn berry that I need to stitch this year. I think that Lori and I may have decided to stitch that one together. So I need to check with her. And if that's the case, I'm going to hold that one. And so you would be seeing Autumn in the Village come out for my WhipGo piece. My WhipGo goals are 300 stitches a piece. So whichever gift stitch I put in, I decide on, I'll do 300 stitches in the month. And then whatever autumn piece I wind up doing, I'll put in 300 stitches. So there you go. That's my WhipGo numbers, which is wonderful. So I'm going to let you go, get back to your stitching. I am thrilled to be able to tell you that I made progress on my chatelaine and got that bird finished. It was the goal that I wanted to hit. I'm just a couple of days behind when I wanted to do it, which is okay because it was the goal for the month. So got it done. I'm okay. And now I'm going to go run do my shopping. And hopefully, if at all possible, I'll have more stitching to share with you later this evening. Happy stitching, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is March 31st. We are wrapping up the month. I have so much to share with you. I just got back from a stitching retreat with my guild, and we were in Helen, Georgia, which is not that far from me, but it was great to get away and see friends and meet new friends. And some of my Alabama friends actually drove all the way over for this retreat, and we got to have dinner together and sit at tables next to each other and chit-chat and visit and stitch together. It was fabulous. So I want to share with you a little bit about retreats. If you've never been on one, it is just a fabulous thing to go and stitch with your friends. Usually the organizer of the retreat will have gifts for you, little tidbits and things, and that was no different here. Our guild did a great job. The 2 ladies who put this retreat together did a fabulous, fabulous job for us. One of them had actually charted a sampler that she had purchased, an antique sampler, and she had it kitted up for us, fabric, floss, pattern, everything. And one of my table mates, Sue, actually stitched it while we were there, finished it while we were there. Oh my goodness, she's amazing. We had a make and take. We were able to make this little cute spool topper pin keep, and we had all the parts and pieces and instructions, and then a lady there to kind of help us put it together. But isn't that precious? I had it already on my display shelf. I had to go get it to even show it to you this morning, but I wanted to share that with you. My roommate was my friend Donna, and we had a great time as usual, lots of shenanigans. And one of the things that she did for me was she took one of my floss drop cards that I've made over the years that has my puppy Coco on it, and she turned it into a thread keep for me. And it also has a little dog bone and a puppy paw on it. Isn't that gorgeous? She gave me one of my favorite needle threaders as well. This is my Lorraine needle threader. I don't go anywhere without it. But I am thrilled to death to have this, and I saved it. I didn't start using it yet because I wanted to share it with you, but I will put my very next project on that one. I also wanted to mention that there was a lady there who is a sweetheart of a friend, and I just wish we had more time together. But her name is Linda. I didn't get permission to say her whole name, so I won't, but she knows who she is. She is a very devout follower of my channel. She's so kind to watch it and comment. And we got to talk and chat a little bit. And one of the things that she showed me was an item that she stitched for her mother-in-law. And now she's got it back. Her mother-in-law has passed away. And as it turned out, her mother-in-law's initial happened to be an H. And so Linda asked if I would like to have this. And this is one of those wonderful little compartmental organizers that you put over the arm of a chair. And there's the H. And this says, a stitch in time saves 9. Isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. She asked me if I wanted it, and I couldn't speak for a minute. I was so surprised and so pleased. And if you've been watching, you know that I just recently created a stitching spot in my living room so that I could sit and stitch and watch TV shows with my husband in the evening. He had asked if I could do that some because I spend so much time up here, I think he was feeling a little lonely. And I definitely wanted to do that, so I did. And this is going to go down in my stitching spot right by my husband. And this way I have a place to put my needles and my scissors, and, you know, there you go. So, Linda, thank you so much. I'm going to take it downstairs today and put it to use. I mentioned that some of my friends from Alabama came over, and one of the things that they did that I thought was so unique and so cute, I wanted to share it with you, is they had this project bag for me. 2 of the ladies went together and made these, and puts a gift in here. It is a needle minder, and it's one of those steampunk hearts. Isn't that precious? I've never seen anything like it. I love it. Really like that. Thank you, Mary and Sandy. But let me show you what they gave that to me in. Isn't that a cute project bag? Perfect for a small project. And this is like needlepoint, like punch needle is how that feels like it. The texture is like a punch needle. Isn't that great? I think the fabric came that way. I don't know for sure, but I think it did. But if not, then they spent a lot of time doing that. They didn't say, but the fact that they made, look at that, they're cute. Me, a project bag just really warmed my heart. So thank you for that. So now I have a needle minder to go with my project bag, and I will be filling this with something very soon. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So that was another table mate gift. Well, they actually were at the table next to me. So, I mean, I was getting table mate gifts for people that were at the tables next to me. So I have very generous and kind people in my life, and I'm very blessed for that. I have lots of wonderful table mate gifts. I'm not going to share them all with you. It'll just take too long. And they're just also wonderfully creative and useful and beautiful. And as we go along, I'll tell you, probably show them to you as I show, use the thing that it's on. Because a lot of them were useful things that you could put with your stitching. So we were at this retreat. We got there Thursday night. It started Friday morning, and it went through 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. And I think Donna and I left probably around noonish or 12:30, somewhere in there, because it was just beginning to rain, and we wanted to get on the road and get on out of there while there was a break in the rain. And so we came home and had a safe trip, no problems, but some of our friends did not. And I am very sorry to tell you that two of the ladies that came all the way from Florida were hit by a hit-and-run driver, and he hit them hard. They were only going about 5 miles an hour when he hit them. Thank goodness. But he hit them hard. And then he took off, and he left them stranded. And they were on the side of the road waiting on policemen and then on tow truck assistance, which they had a hard time getting. 6.5 hours they waited for help. 2 women on the side of the road. Anyway, they got home safe and sound as far as to at least the first lady's house. I think my friend Sandy is supposed to be driving home the rest of the way today, and I hope she has safe travels. But, you know, it's your worst nightmare. You go away, a long distance away for a trip, and then someone rear ends you right when you get home. Or hits you. I don't know if it was a rear end or not, but it messed up the car a lot. So, y'all be careful, okay? When you're traveling, be very, very careful. Stitching occurred, a lot of stitching. In fact, my friend Donna got a lot of stitching on her death by cross stitch, and that was remarkable because, number one, it's 1/1 stitching. She's doing the whole thing 1/1. And number two, Donna is not one to stitch in a big crowd. The noise really distracts her, and she gets she has more fun talking and visiting with people and stitching later. But she was really into it, and she got a lot of stitching done at this retreat, and I'm happy for her because that's great progress for her. I also got quite a bit of stitching in, and I want to share that with you. So I took my spring at Hawk Run Hollow. I've been trying to do half a square a month so I can finish it this year. And I'm getting close to the end now. And so, as you know, I get real anxious to get it to a completion because I want to see it. I want to put it up. I want to do something with it. So I'll remind you, I'm working on spring at Hawk Run Hollow, have been for a while. And I am now down on the bottom 2 spaces. However, I'm doing the squares in a different order. I'm putting this one over here. And I'm putting this one over here. We've talked about that. If you've been watching, you've already seen that. But I recently took it off of the roller frame simply because I was traveling with it and I was going to bop my son in the face with it if I didn't, because we were in the back seat together traveling home. So while I had that off a roller frame, I decided, hey, this is on a Q-snap now. I can take it with me. And it's block stitching. You know, it's not hard stitching. It's just a lot of stitches. So I did take this with me, and I will tell you, I worked on it almost an entire day while at the retreat. And I'm going to look back and tell you, I put in 749 stitches in this square, and it's still not done. So yes, this is the one I did the first half for the month of March, and this is where I've gotten to now. I have left a house to put over here and a hot air balloon to put up here, and then a little bit of back stitching to do. So this is still got lots of stitching in it, but I'm supposed to have to do half of this block for April. So I have a crazy busy April. So this is good that I've gotten it this far, and that's kind of why I did it. So this way I can finish this block in April, and then in May I can start this block, and I can either finish it in May or I can finish it in June. But my hope and prayer is that I will be finished with my Hawk Run Hollow by the end of June. And that is 6 months earlier than I planned. It's just been going really well, and I've enjoyed stitching on it so much. But having it as a monthly requirement and doing it before I do other things, it's really made a difference. So there you go. That's my Hawk Run Hollow. So the next thing I wanted to work on, or another thing I wanted to work on, I actually started Thursday night before the retreat started. Donna and I got there early enough that we went to dinner with some friends from Alabama, And then we went back up to our room and got settled in, and we stitched before we went to bed that night. And so, probably should have showed you this one first, but didn't think about it. This is my hands-on design, a banner year. And I was stitching all three, and I had worked my way to this one. And that's the one I was working on while at the retreat. And Thursday night, I actually finished it. So I put in 529 stitches and finished it off. And now they're all three done. And yes, they're out of order. That was very confusing to people when I put this on the brag table. It's supposed to say snow, much fun. But when I first started this, I really was attracted to this banner first. And I thought, I want to stitch this one and see how I like it. How I like the colors, how I like the fabric, because it's an opalescent fabric. And so I just chose fun because I liked the things that were in it. All right, so here you have a sled. These are skis, and these are ice skates. So it's a winter piece. It's not a Christmas piece. This will be something I can put out all winter long, which is great. And while we were there at the retreat, my friend Lisa said, you know, you could actually get a coordinating fabric that you're going to use to finish this banner off. You could use that and make triangles to go in the middle, and you could make your banner even longer and put it on one of my my picture railings up here. And I think that was an excellent idea, and that's what I plan on doing. So now I need to go fabric shopping. But this is a finish. Yay! So excited. So the next day when people started ringing the bell for finishes, my friend Donna said, you don't get to ring the bell for that one. You finished it before retreat. Donna's keeping me straight, let me tell you. Keeping me on the straight and narrow. That's okay. Because after I worked on my Hawk Run Hollow, the next day, which would have been Saturday, I decided that I was going to have a new start. And I'm trying to work on some series this year, so I picked up my Anjou pears. I had stitched this alphabet one before, and I decided to stitch this one that's called Swirl. And I am stitching mine on a Bestitch Me fabric that's absolutely beautiful. It's Sugar Cream Pie. It's a lovely neutral. And so here is my start and finish at retreat. I was so happy with that. It's beautiful. I'm using a cotton garden, how do you say this? Thread. Cottage garden thread from Australia. And this one is called Cherry Blossom. Isn't that beautiful? I have one more of these pairs to do. I've done two. I added beads to that one, but that's the one I did at retreat. And then there's one more that I will need to do, and that's this one here in the back. And I'll put this away. And at some point in the year, hopefully, I'll bring it out. I'm thinking about making it one of my May Monday starts because it's a good chance I could start it and finish it that week, and then it would finish my series, and I would be really tickled about that. So, my Anjou pear, a start and finish at retreat. That was exciting. That was fun. So then I wanted to start something that I had brought with me, and the reason I brought it with me was a unique reason. My friend Lisa loves to do beadwork, and I had made a project bag, which I had shared with you in the past, and this is the project bag that I had made. It's a Teresa Kogut freebie, and then, I made my project bag. Well, Lisa wanted to make me a zipper pull to go with it. So she took scraps of my fabric and took it home and made me this zipper pull. And this beautiful bead matches these colors. She picked up on the coppery colors, the red. Now, she even put me a little tiny bird on here to go with the bird that the lady is talking to, the year, and then a little tag on it that says blessed, because I certainly am. I have friends that will do that for me. So she asked me, are you bringing that project bag? Because I have something I want to give you and I want to see it on it. So I said, oh, I've got to bring it. So I grabbed it because I had a kitted project in it. So I started it at retreat, and that is why I started it, because she wanted me to bring that project bag. I thought that was great. But what I had in it was another Teresa Kogut, and it was her charity pattern that I bought a while back, probably back in January, I think, of this year. Hope and Love. And I have made a few changes in the border, as I've told you in previous videos, if you've looked. And so I got a good start on it. I'm working this on Affogato. It's a 32 count Lugana even weave from Fiber on a Whim. I think it's beautiful. It has a little tiny bit of a green tint in that modeling, and there's going to be beautiful greens in this piece with the trees and the leaves for the flowers. But I got a good start on this. I actually wound up working on it 2 days, and I put in almost 700 stitches. So I got a really good start on it. But this is what I was working on when we packed up to leave. I had just finished the chimney here. So that is my new start, Hope and Love. So I came home, and when I got home, it was early in the afternoon, and my husband had been waiting to have lunch with me, and I hadn't had lunch. Donna and I had just left about lunchtime and drove straight home because it wasn't that far. And then she headed on home, and Tommy and I decided we would go. I unpacked my luggage, and I took Coco for a walk. She was so excited to see me. It was very heartwarming. And we kind of took our time getting everything put away, and then we went for a very late lunch, early supper, and had dinner. When I came back, I had a lot of time left, and I had a Zoom call that night. So I decided I wanted to finish something that I had almost finished before I left for retreat. In fact, the morning that I was waiting on Donna to come get me, because she worked part of the day, and then she came and picked me up about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I had been working on my Rudolph tree farm all morning, and I finished the cross stitching. All I had left was the back stitching and the French knots, but that's what I had left. So when I got home Sunday, I grabbed it, pulled out my threads, and I worked on it. And I worked on it through my Zoom call. And as soon as we got off the Zoom call, I put in the last few French knots, and I finished her up. So here is Rudolph's tree farm. Isn't that great? I think it is lovely. I hope you can see it well. There's a man there riding in the carriage there, the little sleigh. Cute little horse. A man at the tree farm that's waving to his buddy here in the sleigh. And I think it's a great piece. There are little red baubles hanging on some greenery there. There's a green wreath with red French knots in it for ornaments. And then there are some little yellow French knots on the carriage and for the bit in the horse's mouth. So not too many French knots, just a few, but quite a bit of back stitching. Got that done. Now I'm excited. I have 3 of the 6 completed. So now I can roll it up. And next time I need to start my full coverage ornament, I'll be down here and I can work my way across and do the other 3. If you recall, this kit, this is a Dimensions Gold kit, was gifted to me by my son years ago, and I've been working on them slowly but surely, and it's been taking about 2 years to finish these 2. I think I finished this one in more like a year, and so I'm getting faster at it, which is great. Part of it is I'm not minding it so much, but that is about the size of the full coverage I do. I don't like big full coverages, but that one is about the one I can handle. So I am probably going to run out of some of this floss. I can't tell yet which ones. Just a few look kind of low to me. Now, I don't know how much they're used on the other 3. I did look at the other 3 pieces, and it's interesting because one is a pink building, one is a blue house, and the other one is a brown store. And so they have different overriding colors as far as the main color. So I may have enough, I don't know yet. But if not, what I'm going to do when I get ready to use a color, I'm going to look and see how much is used in that one. And if it's more than I think I have, I'm going to find a DMC that matches it. And then I'll just substitute it in and finish it up. So, but that is a finish. So there you go. I've had a start and finish, and I've had a finish while since I've talked to you. 2 of those they didn't both occur at retreat, but they have occurred. So I'm excited about that. I mentioned I had a Zoom call last night. It was a planning meeting with my friends that do planning. And we talked about our Springo. We talked about our acrostics for April. We talked about WhipGo for April. And we talked about how we're doing our British Bakeoff game. I finished mine because I just wanted to get done with it before Springo starts tomorrow. And so I went ahead and stitched all of mine. And I've already shared all that with you. Which is why a banner year wound up getting finished at retreat, because I stitched so much on it for the British Bake-Off that I wound up finishing it, which is wonderful. And I thought I would share that with you. How did the game impact my stitching? Well, one of the pieces that I put in my British Bake-Off was Summer Treats. And, you know, I finished Summer Treats, and I fully finished it already because it's a secret gift for my husband for his birthday. The Hawk Run Hollow is in there, and as you have seen, I've really pushed that block well past halfway because of that. A banner year was in there, and I was able to push it to a finish as a result of the progress that I made. My Rudolph's Tree Farm is finished as a result mainly of all the stitching I put on it because of the British Bake-Off. And so I think that's pretty awesome. Miss Christmas Eve and Nativity, I was already putting 500 stitches in anyway, so it didn't really push it that much further, but it helps. But I do think it's, oh, and there's wordplay, my January wordplay, I finished during the game. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the 12 pieces I worked on are now finished. I think that's great. That's a third of them. That's lovely. So, we are going to do this again. It'll probably not be until June. We're talking about doing it June 1st. If you want to do it with us, that'll be fine. Please join us. And I'll try to remember before then to give you our breakdown of how many stitches we do for each item in case you just want to do it with us. But anyway, so before then, you need to pick your 12 projects that you're going to identify. And I would recommend you pick a couple of alternates that you'll substitute in. You can always just pick one later, but I like doing them ahead of time because then I know they're random and I'm not purposely picking something that, I'm going to get to work on a lot because I know who the baker is or something like that. But it keeps it fun for me. I have gotten one comment letting me know that they were going to be happy when I finished the British Bake-Off game because they haven't enjoyed it, and I'm sorry for that. I personally don't see that it's any different than any other prompt that I work for. I do acrostics and I do things like Bringo and AB Singo and now Springo. I don't see that it's that much different, but maybe because it's the same, 12 projects that are getting shown every month or every week. I don't know, but I'm doing it as a way to put extra stitches in projects that I want to push forward or finish. And so I will try to think of a better way to maybe present those results or share that stitching. I have asked for more feedback from the individual as to what it was that they didn't enjoy, in case I could tweak it and make it a little more interesting. But, some of the things that we do to encourage our stitching aren't for everybody, and that's okay. But I do hope that most of you are enjoying seeing progress regardless of how it gets there. And but I do plan on doing it again in June. So we'll see. In the meantime, tomorrow starts Springo, and I did make the 2 changes that I mentioned in the board because I had finished 2 pieces. And I've made my random numbers assigned, and then I have assigned a project to each of my letters. And I'll remind you what they are. S is Spring Quaker. P is for my peacock. R is Rosewood Manor's Rosy Rhapsody. I is A New Start, Isabel's Garden. N is Just Nan's Summer by the Sea. G is for my Royal Games. And O is for my ornament, which will be my Christmas stocking ornament that I start once a month. This one will be for calling birds. So one little thing for planning today, and then I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to get busy with my planning piece because what I'm doing today is going back through all of my projects and patterns that I've received or purchased. I've gotten stuff at market. I've been gifted things. And at the first, before the first of the year even, I had identified all the new starts I wanted to try to do for this year. And I had put them in a month. I had assigned them a month to get going. Well, January, February, and March, here's my listing. I've completed all 3 months, did great, got them done, did everything I had planned on doing and more. So that is fabulous. I'm very happy with that. So one of the things that I decided on, though, was with all the new things I've gotten, there may be some changes I would like to make, things that I would like to start, that I want to start sooner than some of the things I had identified before because I didn't have these new things. I still want to do a big focus on finishing as many of my series as I can. But I've decided I'm not going to try to finish them all. Because if I do, that makes almost all my new starts have to be in these series. And some of them are pretty big. My Mill Hill kits that are the Halloween ones. Those are kind of intense beading projects. And then I've got my quilts for the seasons that I'm doing. And I need to start one of them. But, I just started Just Nan's Summer by the Sea, which is very similar in size and intensity. And I thought, ooh, it's like doing 2 of the same thing. I want to do a little fun thing with my stitching group at the library coming up where I need to start something that's patriotic, and we'll be talking about that at our stitching meetup in April. And so I want to pull in a patriotic start for that I hadn't planned on. So basically, I'm going to do a relook. I'm going to pull out everything again as if I'm starting from scratch. And I'm going to see how many of the things I originally identified I want to keep on the list and what months I want to do them. And I am going to keep a couple of things on here for sure because I'm starting them with friends. And so those aren't changing. But others that I haven't, identified that I'm going to do with somebody, those are up for debate. And so I may make some changes. And I think part of it is just I've been busy stitching on these series and I'm getting them done. But I've also been pushing some of my other older projects to closure. And that's going to open the door to start something that might be a bit bigger, or a bit more complex. Or it may be that I just want, to start something new because I just really want to start it because it's got my attention. So there you go. I reserve the right always to change my mind. And so today I have pulled out all my boxes, my little storage boxes that have everything I had kitted that I thought I was going to start this year. And I've got 2 bins full of new patterns and things that I haven't looked at. I've just been collecting. People have been gifting to me, or I've been purchasing one here or there. And I'm going to look at everything and I'll reassess what I'm going to do. So when that's done, I'll share it with you. And then if you have some of those you want to start with me, feel free. Okay, I'm going to let you get back to stitching. That's my wrap up for the retreat. That's my stitching progress and plans. So that's been quite a lot. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Happy stitching, everybody.